What I brought for people to look at is a rubbing of a logo that I have created in 2008 after the subprime mortgage crisis hit the United States. There was an exhibition that I made called the Gesture Guild, which is kind of in the heyday of like the kind of date rapey relational aesthetics. You come to the exhibition, you think you're going to get something, actually they want to take something from you or make you do something. So we made this guild which was dedicated to the day when the salaries in the first world and the third world equalized, because it looked at that particular moment and that was about to happen, and it's kind of happening, you know. When people would come, they were told that they would be giving this kind of custom fitted program for them that they can return to and do. And instead, everybody who came was cutting cloth as if they were working in a textile factory. So people are kind of being reconnected to their hand. Most people who lost jobs kind of did not have experience of working a real job, because America is kind of mostly a service sector country. So we're celebrating this moment of reconnection of the human hand to the production line in one of the most difficult areas of production, which is textile production in the world, and garment production. So yeah, this was the thing. It says G. It has a swan being pierced by the G, because I found that this kind of fluffy, poetic art was always something that I was against. I wanted like this realism and meaning and connection to a real life itself. And yeah, there's a kind of a emblem of the anthem, which is the sailor and the clown, and two terrorist masks being cut off from a pantyhose, which I thought was really funny at the time. Not anymore, but at the time, yes. So the way it's used is when people would come and complete their program. I'll demonstrate. Instead of stamping something, we would put this thing under. Let's put it here. And rub it. So you would get this kind of stamp by rubbing. Could be color pencil, could be graphite, whatever. I'll leave both the graphite and the thing. And this book kind of came out of a series of works that followed the Gesture Guild, and I will enclose that as well for the students, because I find that most of the things that I deal with in my work materially is issue of weight. We're so crushed by the weight of everyday life and political problems and economic problems that I think the task of my art is to lift that weight. This is definitely a way to lift it, because this is a very funny manifesto. Hold on a moment. And the way that it was sold at the time, I found hope to be one of these things that puts weight on your shoulders, because usually in societies that I've lived in, hope is used as this kind of thing that puts you in a waiting pattern for the better times to come, because somebody is promising that these times will come. So I have kind of a problematic relationship with hope. So the way that this manifesto, Bon Ton Mais Non, is sold is through flexible pricing, like everything else in Documenta, but it was the first thing that was sold that way. So the way you sell it is you cross out the name of the person, of hope here, and you write the name of the person that you want to give it to. In this case, Documenta 14, yeah? And then you get like a really funny thing. So I will enclose that with this. So Bon Ton Mais Non was kind of humorous way to lift this weight from art itself. And in my work for Documenta 14, mostly to deal with this immobility of hopelessness and waiting and this very humiliating position, we're creating strategies in which we can do something opposite, which is provide freedom of movement and comfort and real contact with people, which we're doing through Yugo Expo through this uniform. And a kind of more serious theoretical ground around this entire way of thinking, of living and realism and vitalistic art that is not there solely for contemplation, but there actually to live with people in history and in making history.